Speaking about flaws and speaking about
Oh
holes,
God.
to get to this, you guys already know what I'm thinking.
I mean, the title says it all.
Exactly. We got a little thing going on over here in the NBA. It is called load management.
What
Lo-
is that?
Load management. Oh, okay. It's pretty much, Kawhi
It's the
management.
number one hot. Wow.
Kawhi
Nah, see,
management.
I wouldn't call it Kawhi management. I wouldn't.
Exactly.
But it is a hot. It's like the number one hot topic right now in the NBA.
Yeah.
For this year.
Exactly. But with load management, Andrade, do you really see it as a big issue in the NBA?
All right, I'm actually I don't even know if I could say I'm on the fence about it, but because the thing is, over time, I feel like I've gone back and forth between both sides. Because they both sides, whether you agree with load management or you disagree with it and the concept of it, have valid points, like really really valid points. And all right, to answer the question, I don't believe it's a big issue or as big of an issue as the media is making it seem, to be honest. Let's see. Let's start off with, before I kind of disliked it. I never hated it, as some fans have stated, but I kind of disliked it because I understand that you want to see your star player play, and I understand the point that like they're getting paid to play, and I understand the point that back in the day players used to play the majority, if not all, 82 games, including stars, and they had worse travel amenities and commodities. They didn't have the science and progressive careness that they have nowadays with with the teams, with the doctors, with the trainers. So I get all that, and I get how people are like, oh, maybe today's NBA players are getting babied. But the thing is, here's the counterpoint that I started to understand more and more. One, the game is actually played differently, and you can state that back then people used to play harder, but there is also, it's been pointed out that there were guidelines. This is more in like the early 2000s, I think late 90s, where how defenses were played. The lane actually wasn't as clogged up before. Well, now it's not as clogged up anymore because of the way that the NBA is getting played, period. But before, there was a rule that made the spacing a little more available for drivers. And then two, it wasn't as rough as people like to make it sound. Like when we see these clips, those clips are highlights. We're not seeing like the 48 minutes that actually went into the whole game in the 70s, 80s, or 90s. 70s, I'll let that one go because I think the 70s, I don't see too many clips, but I can definitely see how that one was for sure more, physical than anything else after.
Off camera, yeah.
Yeah. Now, to the point of like, most families don't get to see, only go to one game a year or every so often, like one game every 2-3 years, whatever, and they can't afford to see the star. So if the star's not playing, you miss their opportunity to see the star. I was one of those kids. I've only seen, when I was a kid, I only saw one Heat game, and if I remember correctly, I don't believe Wade played that one, and if he did, it was very minor. I don't believe he actually played it actually. And then alright, I understand that if you're only seeing it very that you're not gonna be able to see the star because you see it, so they're taking breaks. But the thing is, if they take breaks, they're gonna have longer careers, and if they have longer careers, that actually gives you more chances to be able to see the star. So I feel like a lot of people are missing out on that, but that's facts. So if you let that player have the load management, like Kawhi Leonard, you'll have a longer, more prosperous career, and then you're technically gonna have more chances to be able to see him. So there's that. There's like that. I think that is a very valid counter argument to people always saying that about load management. And then two, we live in an era where now it's like you win the chip or it doesn't count. Like if you don't have a ring, and that's on us. That's on us as fans. Like we judge players like after their career, like, yo, did you end up winning the championship? You didn't. All right, that we can't put you in the top of the list. So like that kind of fell on us. Like, oh, it's like no rings means nothing. So then now these players are focused on like, look, I got to get healthy. I got to stay healthy so I can keep trying to attempt to win these rings. And yeah, all right, I'm done ranting. Again, it was all over the place, but yeah, what do you feel? Do you believe load management is an issue? I'm like kinda, but not really.
I mean the Kawhi watch. Why can't they just leave?
All right, look. Before Kawhi is different because I do agree. A lot of broadcasters are pointed out he's legitimately not fully healed, so it's not technically load management. Load management was more when it was Parker, Duncan, and Ginobili, and they were healthy. But then Pop, and if anyone wants to blame anyone for bringing this issue up,
Pop's
it
fault.
is Pop who kind of started the trend. But that was true load management. Kawhi, he's getting a lot of flack for it, but I'm glad that more broadcasters are pointing out he actually doesn't deserve it. He actually does have this long, lingering injury that has plagued him.
All right, I love it that you were assuming that was an attack Kawhi.
I thought because he keeps saying Kawhi.
No, man. What I was gonna say was, why can't we just leave Mr. Fun Guy alone?
Respect.
Let's leave him alone. Yes, obviously with the point that you brought up, Kawhi has a valid point and a valid reason. The guy hasn't fully recovered. He has recovered, but okay, the lingering effects from his injury that he had with the Spurs, his new 100% is his 80% back in the day.
Yeah.
So obviously in that aspect, he hasn't fully recovered. And because of that, there's going to be some times that he needs to take some games off. Right?
And he's been inconsistent at least so far this season.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, whether Kawhi plays or not, it's not gonna make a difference if the Clippers go play the Knicks. Man, the Knicks are gonna shoot themselves in the foot regardless who's playing. But regarding load management, I think it's a bigger issue in the NBA if it's something like back in the day with Pop, for example. If your players are legit healthy, the doctors are saying, Andrade, these guys can play. They're fine. Obviously, freak injuries happen. Play. That's where it's going to be an issue. What's different as well...
It hasn't gotten to that yet.
In addition, what's different about the NBA as well is compared to back then in 2005, 2006, when the Spurs were having their mini dynasty, with Parker, with Duncan, with Ginobili, is the NBA is making a lot more money. It's more of an international brand.
Great point.
There's TV deals that are going on that are making the league a lot more money. With the players, it's not so much. Yes, the contracts are guaranteed, which is amazing. Not all the sports have that. They have the sponsorships. They have shoe deals. They have deals for whatever it is that they're having with 2K. So many more things are available right now compared to in the past, and thus it's changing in other reasons. That's why maybe stars are not gonna go to New York. You don't need to be in New York to make that money because of those deals that I'm saying right now.
Oh, I got you.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah. I get what you mean. They don't have to be on the floor to market themselves. Thanks to social media and the internet, worldwide exposure is everywhere now.
Exactly. And what I'm going to finish my point is right now is to how you finish your point is at the end of the day, what fans, what most eyeballs are going to be looking at is where the lights shine the brightest, which is the playoffs, the postseason. You're not going to remember too much as well. It's like, hey, did Kawhi play on September 13th versus the Hawks? I'm like,
nobody cares if you average a triple-double in the regular season. What?
Damn, some Brody fans are going to be triggered. It's going to be on the postseason to finish off. Yeah. It's like, how you going to perform. You're going to want your star players, whether it's Kawhi, whether it's Jimmy Butler, whether it's LeBron. You're going to want them to be in their peak, most healthy capacity.
To bring that trophy home.
To bring that hardware home. Because what's gonna bring the fans, what's gonna get all the ladies is gonna be that trophy, that hardware that you get in June.
And the player wants the trophy too. That's the for most players that are passionate. That's the number one accomplishment, that Larry O'Brien trophy.
But you know what? We're gonna think way ahead of you guys. We're gonna be thinking, okay, what if this problem becomes bigger than what they can handle? What if if
it starts getting more and more momentum,
more, and this becomes like a damn plague.
Yeah.
And it's a plague we can't blame on Pop.
The NBA plague of the 2020s.
First world problems, but we got a solution. We got a possible solution for this. Andrade.
No, we're gonna discuss a possible solution that's been brought up.
Maybe it might be. We'll see.
We're not presenting a possible solution.
You guys,
unless you are.
Maybe. You guys let us know in the comments what you guys think about this.